Since September 11th, 2001, first responders and survivors say they are still feeling the impacts of the attack, particularly on their health. Scripps News Group's Katia Tubman takes us through the battle the 9/11 community is waging to secure the future of a critical health program.
Stephanie, more people have died from illnesses linked to 9/11 than those who were tragically killed during the attacks. Still, many more have continued to live their lives despite these illnesses because of a federal health program, a program the 9/11 community says can't continue amid devastating cuts.
This is about a week after September 11th, when the New York Stock Exchange had reopened.
Richard Allies, a retired FDNY deputy chief, looks at a 23-year-old photo of himself and a remarkable group of first responders.
And I was glad because I looked and I was like, oh, and yes, everybody's with us and is okay.
All of the men in the photo were FDNY chiefs. All of them are alive today, and all of them are in the World Trade Center health program. What does this program mean to you personally?
I'm a survivor, that, thank God, due to the health program. I was diagnosed with prostate cancer last year. It came as a result of my going to the World Trade Center Medical for my annual medical exam.
Allies is one of more than 130,000 people across the U.S. enrolled in the World Trade Center health program. Those people qualify for free annual health exams, which result in early detection and treatment for 9/11-related health illnesses.
Every year that went on past 9/11 that I didn't get sick, I realized, okay, another one down, I'm good. But, getting sick and getting diagnosed with cancer, I wasn't surprised, I wasn't surprised at all. Especially the cancer that I got was one of the more common ones in the 9/11 community.
That community doesn't just include people from New York.
We had responders from every congressional district in our country.
How many people are actually impacted by what happened on 9/11?
Altogether, there were 500,000 people exposed to the dust, not just on 9/11, but in the 8 months that followed, when they were still doing the recovery efforts and cleaning up, and dust was spewing everywhere.
Michael Barish is one of the lead lawyers fighting for the 9/11 community. Like Allies, he has prostate cancer detected early because of the World Trade Center health program.
I'll never forget that day and what I witnessed. I'll never get it out of my head.
Barish's office is still near Ground Zero.
They wanted us to come back to our offices, my office is just 2 blocks from Ground Zero. They wanted us to come back to school, to our lower Manhattan residence. And we did, to show America is resilient and we are survivors and we're going to fight these terrorists. Well, unfortunately, we came back to some really bad stuff.
That bad stuff includes 69 cancers and other medical conditions that doctors at the WTC health program have linked to toxins that filled the air for weeks after the September 11 attacks. The federal program had one of its biggest breakthroughs in 2015 when then President Barack Obama reauthorized it for decades until 2090. But now major cuts carried out by DOGE, which includes slashing hundreds of jobs, have gutted the program, creating hurdles for thousands to access care. Barish says,
I'm all in favor of cutting waste. I think these budget cuts, when they are deserved, they should be cut, but not on the backs of the 9/11 community.
Both Barish and Allies continue to make countless trips to Washington, trips that have even included comedian and 9/11 advocate Jon Stewart, to urge Congress to approve additional funding for the program. The two men, strangers before 9/11, now bond over their fight to keep the program alive.
We can't, change what happened, but we can deal with the aftermath, and we have. We effectively got the job done. Don't dismantle it at this point. That would be unconscionable and something I'm not going to accept.
Allies and Barish will be heading back to Washington next week, hoping, they say, to remind Congress of their promise to never forget the 9/11 community. And we'll be right there with them, keeping you updated on their progress. Stephanie?
Now, Katia, you are not done following this story. So what do we know about what's next for this program?
Well, that remains unclear right now, but the 9/11 community says they're hoping what's next is long-term funding and a reversal of these cuts. Now, lawmakers, right after these DOGE cuts went into effect, reintroduced legislation for permanent funding. And so Allies and Barish say they're hoping that funding will pass and making sure that everyone can have the kind of care and treatment they've received. Stephanie?
National correspondent Katia Tubman reporting for us. Thank you very much, Katia.